The Galactic Banking Union's verdict flashed across the screen, loan denied. The Empire had 3 weeks before its treasury collapsed.
We have 3 weeks until the Empire's accounts freeze solid. Get the Terran embassy on the line. I don't care how we pay them.
Within 40 hours, a Terran commercial shuttle descended toward the Dravani capital. Gregory Vance had accepted the assignment with a 2-word reply, confirmed. He stepped onto the landing pad, looking like a man who had missed his connecting flight, wire-rim glasses catching the alien sun. The audit hall stretched high above him, its walls lined with holographic ledgers that glowed red and blue in the dim light.
You are the Terran auditor? I requested a senior team, not one man.
One man is plenty. Fewer people, fewer leaks. Where are the original ledgers?
He activated the main console without ceremony. A cascade of alien figures poured across the display, centuries of Imperial accounts, patched and repatched.
This is worse than the Marian system collapse, and that took 11 months.
In the first hour, he flagged 37 separate discrepancies, entries that had been hidden in plain sight for decades. The red flags multiplied. 61 discrepancies in 3 hours, each trivial alone, but together a quiet, persistent leak.
These are rounding errors. Auditor, a few credits mislaid over centuries. The Empire does not grind to a halt over decimals.
A decimal misplaced in year 37 multiplied by compound interest over 200 years becomes a mountain. I need to see the source documents.
The source documents are ancient. Some are carved in stone. Surely you don't need to go that far back.
I do. If the foundation is cracked, the building will fall. I can't certify a loan on a shaky base.
Voron's 4 eyes held his gaze for a long moment. Then she gave a tight nod. The old vaults would be opened.
She's afraid of what I'll find. That's always a bad sign.
Gregory descended into the sub-level archives the next morning. The air smelled of old data crystals and stone. He pulled up the cross-referenced matrix. Where the 3 treasury branches intersected, the numbers didn't just blur, they vanished into negative space. By the time the overhead lights dimmed for the night cycle, Gregory had mapped a 200-year trail of invisible transfers. Someone had designed the system to hide from itself. The archives yielded their secret slowly. Each ledger bore the crest of one of 3 noble houses: Aerith, Veloth, Thaluth, Thalrin.
3 houses, 3 completely independent treasuries. Why waste the redundancy?
He loaded House Aerith's ledger first, 3 centuries of income and expenditure, perfectly balanced, down to the last credit. House Veloth's records were equally immaculate. No errors, no miscalculations. Just clean, orderly figures. House Thalrin showed no flaws either. 3 perfect sets of books. But when Gregory overlaid them, the combined balance revealed a gaping deficit.
This isn't a theft. It's a mathematical illusion. The money was never there.
You've been in the archives for 3 days. What have you found?
Why do the houses keep independent treasuries? The Empire's revenue is supposed to flow through a single channel.
Ancient tradition. Each house manages its own territory's income before forwarding a share to the crown, but it all reconciles in the central ledger.
It doesn't reconcile. For 2 centuries, the central ledger has been a house of mirrors. I'll need to cross-reference every transaction you have.
Cross-referencing every transaction will take months. The Empire's coffers will be empty by then.
Gregory did not reply. He simply extended his stay, his desk gradually disappearing under stacks of translucent data pads.
The pattern repeats, but it feels like I am tracing a snake, eating its own tail. Where does it begin?
Records requested from House Aerith arrived incomplete. A whole decade's entries were pending archivist review. House Veloth suffered a minor systems failure that rendered their fiscal archives inaccessible for 4 days.
They're stalling me. That's not bureaucratic incompetence. That's fear.
Auditor, the noble houses are complaining. You must finish your audit soon.
I'll finish when the numbers add up, not before.
He found it at last. A 2-century cycle of transfers that pulse between the houses. but he couldn't see who was pulling the strings.
The money never stays. It flows in a circle. I am missing the account that makes this fraud self-sustaining.
By isolating a single credit transfer from year 37, Gregory watched the payment loop through Erath, into Velath, and back out through Thalran, untouched.
It's not theft in the normal sense. The money never disappears. It just moves in a circle so nobody misses it.
He reconstructed the original ledger from the raw data. Each house had been unknowingly covering the other's losses for 2 centuries.
They all thought they were the only ones skimming, but the system was rigged so that every theft canceled out. Brilliant and horrific.
He compiled the findings into a single preliminary report. No accusations, just the reconciled numbers. The truth was self-evident. Then he sent a single message to the Chancellor. Audit complete. I need to address the Emperor and the 3 House Lords immediately.
You want to present your findings to the entire court? Without prior review? That is unheard of.
This audit involves all of them. They need to hear it together. Trust me.
Vorin stared at the human for a long moment, then reluctantly sent the summons. The Empire had no choice but to listen. Gregory closed his datapad and waited. The most dangerous moment in any audit was the silence before the numbers spoke, before the court assembled. The houses came to him. Lord Kalen appeared first. Tusks flared.
Human, you've worked hard. Accept a permanent position as House Erath's private auditor. The salary would be immense.
I am not for sale, Lord Kalen. The numbers are what they are.
Kalen stormed out. Lady Saris slid into the room, scales catching the light.
Auditor, declare the books balanced, and no one questions it. Refuse and irregularities might surface in your past.
My past is on file with the Terran Guild. Check it yourself. I am done unless you have data.
Saris left without another word. Lord Durek arrived next, his bioluminescent patterns dim with worry. I know you've found something. Just tell me which house is responsible, and I'll ensure justice is done.
The report will speak for itself. You'll hear it with everyone else.
Durek left. Alone again. Gregory saw an alert. Veleth guards massing near Erath Estate. The houses were already turning on each other. In the deepest archive layer, Gregory found a subroutine buried in the Treasury Code, a cipher predating the Empire's unification. Decrypted, the text read, "The circle must remain unbroken. Each house will guard its own, and none will see the whole. This is the architect's will."
It was deliberate. A self-sustaining fraud designed to last forever until someone cross-referenced all 3.
He cross-matched the cipher against the original ledgers. The accounts weren't faulty. They were engineered to loop without end.
Gregory, the houses are arming their forces. The Emperor demands your report tomorrow. Finished or not.
Tell the Emperor the truth will be ready when it's complete, and not a minute before.
Vorin left, and Gregory worked through the night. Every transaction, every loop, every hidden account, he locked them into place. By dawn, the reconciled ledger was complete. 2 centuries of masked theft, untangled into a single, undeniable chart.
If I show this, the Empire might break. If I don't, it will rot from inside. Not much of a choice.
He saved the file and stood. The court would convene in 2 hours. The silence was over. Gregory walked into the throne room. Emperor Veyron sat upon the crystalline throne, 4 arms gripping the armrests, his golden skin glowing with frustration.
Auditor, the lending syndicate has given us 3 days. If you cannot certify the Treasury by then, the Empire defaults. Show me your findings now.
The audit is complete, Your Majesty. But if I give you conclusions without context, you'll make decisions based on fragments. The full report will be ready as scheduled.
I do not need context. I need a stamp that says the books are sound, are they?
No, Your Majesty. And I won't lie to you. The numbers must be presented whole, or they're just numbers.
Your Majesty, the auditor's methods may be unorthodox, but he has uncovered things that no one else could. A little more time.
Time is the one thing we do not have. If you cannot produce a certification today, I will replace you with someone who will.
Then replace me. The Terran Guild will recall me, and your treasury will remain uncertified. I report to no one but the numbers.
The Emperor's 4 eyes blazed. For a long moment, the throne room was silent. Then Veyron let out a slow breath and sat back.
Very well. You have until the assembly this afternoon, not an hour later. The houses are already at each other's throats.
Gregory returned to his console and began assembling the crucial holographic chart. No accusations, just the data flow.
This will either save them or tear them apart. Either way, it's the truth.
He sent the summons, the Emperor, Chancellor, and all 3 House Lords. No exceptions. The court would convene immediately.
The lords are waiting. Kalen is furious. Saris is silent, and Durek looks like he hasn't slept. They'll come.
They don't need to be pleased. They need to listen. Once the numbers are on the screen, there's no hiding.
The throne room filled slowly. Kalen, tusks bared, entered first. Saris followed, silver scales catching the light. Durek came last, his bioluminescence dim.
This human has wasted 3 weeks. If he has nothing, I'll have his contract terminated.
Gregory walked to the center of the chamber, datapad in hand. The room fell silent as he connected it to the main holographic projector.
I am not here to accuse anyone. I am here to show you the numbers as they are.
The holographic chart flickered to life, a perfect circle of transactions between the 3 house crests. Every eye fixed on the impossible loop. Gregory gestured at the floating chart, his voice calm and even.
Each house's books, viewed alone, are flawless. Aereth, Veloth, Thalrin, all balanced, but overlay them, and a deficit appears. A moving whole that has circulated for 200 years.
This is absurd. Veloth has been hiding funds for centuries. Saris, I always knew your house was corrupt. The whole is in your books.
Don't you dare accuse me, Kalen. Your ledgers are full of phantom transactions. Durek, tell them, your house has been bleeding credits for decades.
My house has been bled. I have records that show Aerith's embezzlements from the very start. You are the thief, Kalen.
This chart shows a hole in our treasury. Which of you is responsible? Explain yourselves.
Gregory watched the lords turn on each other, his expression unchanged. He disconnected his datapad and turned toward the exit. No one noticed him leave. The room boiled with accusations, but the numbers had already spoken.
Enough. I will not have the Empire torn apart by accusations. This court is adjourned until the auditor presents his final report. Leave.
The lords exited, but their fury did not cool. Outside the throne room, Kalen grabbed Saris's arm.
You will repay every credit, or I'll seize Veloth's holdings by morning.
Try it, and your borders will burn. I have enough on Aereth to bury you.
Both of you are fools. I have the original charter showing Aereth's first theft. I'll take this to the Emperor myself. They parted, each summoning their household guards. The palace corridors filled with armed servants. Gregory, in the audit hall, heard the distant clatter of boots. He did not look up from his console. Kalen, in his war room, ordered his fleet to high alert. Lady Saris locked herself in her estate, sending encrypted messages to allies. Lord Durek, alone in his chamber, stared at a holographic map of his dwindling territory, the weight of 2 centuries finally settling on his shoulders. In the audit hall, Gregory transferred the final reconciled ledger to his datapad. The report was complete. The Empire would see it at dawn. Dawn lit the throne room windows as Gregory walked to the Emperor's dais and handed over the sealed datapad.
The reconciled ledger is complete. It contains no accusations, only the corrected numbers, spanning 2 centuries.
The holographic report erupted into the air, a chaotic web of red entries rapidly reorganizing into orderly green columns. House Aereth's thefts flowed into Veloth, Veloth's into Thalrin, Thalrin's back to Aereth. The circle was undeniable.
This cannot be. Aereth's losses were covered by Veloth's surplus, and Thalrin took from us both.
We were all bleeding each other. No one gained. 2 centuries of theft, and we were all the victims.
I see my own ledger now. The theft was mutual. The system was a trap, and we were all caught.
Then none of you are innocent. The Empire's treasury has been a carcass you've all been feeding on.
Gregory stood to the side, his datapad closed. The report had spoken. He did not need to add a word. The lords sat in stunned silence, each seeing their house's name in both the debit and credit columns. The empire they had built was a mutual fraud. The lords retreated to a private chamber, the audit report hanging between them like a noose. We must repay the treasury from our own holdings equally and wipe the debt. It is the only way to keep our houses intact.
Equally, Erath's losses were the smallest. Why should we pay for Veloth's excesses? Ceres should cover the deficit alone.
Your house started the theft, Kalen. The chart proves it. I will not pay a single credit until you surrender your estates as collateral.
The argument circled for hours, each lord accusing the others, the numbers forgotten. If we cannot agree, the Emperor will decide. And he will not be merciful.
Then let him try. House Erath will not be stripped of its rights by a bureaucrat's arithmetic.
In the throne room, Emperor Veyron watched the heated debate through a monitor, his 4 eyes cold with growing resolve.
Chancellor Vorin, prepare a decree. The houses will no longer control their own treasuries. The Empire will have a single imperial bank.
Vorin hesitated, then bowed. The final solution was taking shape, no longer an audit, but a restructuring. Before the imperial decree could be issued, armed skirmishes erupted between Veloth and Erath guards. The capital trembled.
The Empire is tearing itself apart. Chancellor, bring me the auditor. He has 20 minutes.
Gregory received the urgent summons. He closed the reconciled report and walked to the throne room, unhurried.
Auditor, your numbers have lit a fire. I need you to design a unified imperial treasury, one the houses cannot corrupt.
I audit. I don't govern. But I can give you a framework, standardized checks, centralized oversight. The rest is your choice.
Then do it. Design the system. I will enforce it.
And now I am designing governments. This is why I prefer spreadsheets to politics.
For 3 days, he built the skeleton of a foolproof financial system. Double entry, transparent audit trails, no house-level ledgers.
Auditor, this. You've removed all autonomy from the houses. They will resist with everything they have.
But the Emperor's decree was already being engraved. The houses would wake to a new order, or to ruin. The imperial decree thundered across every channel. By order of Emperor Veyron, all house treasuries are dissolved, all assets revert to the crown.
This is tyranny. House Erath will not bow to a Terran clerk's arithmetic. Mobilize the fleet, now!
Before Erath's fleet could fire, imperial dreadnoughts decloaked around them. The house ships rotated their weapons offline within minutes. Kalen's command console went dark. His voice, for the first time, held no arrogance, only silence. Lady Ceres, in her estate, sent a final encrypted message. Erase the backup ledgers, but Imperial guards were already at her gates.
Guards, stand down. There is no profit in dying for numbers. Veloth yields.
The cycle is broken. I will not add blood to this debt. House Thalrin surrenders to the crown. By nightfall, Imperial seals glowed on the gates of every house estate. Their private armies were disbanded. Their treasuries empty. The 3 house crests vanished from every public record, replaced by a single insignia, the Imperial Treasury of Drevani. Gregory watched the news feed from his console. He made a single note, transition complete. Then he began packing his stylus.
Auditor, please reconsider. The new treasury will collapse without your guidance. Just a few more days.
Fine. I can train your staff, but I log every hour, and Terran consultants bill by the minute.
For a week, Gregory stood before a class of bewildered Drevani clerks, drawing ledger lines on holographic screens. Vorin sat in the back, taking notes.
I came here to audit alone, not to build a government. I am going to need a very long vacation.
The first live test of the new system processed 1 million transactions. The display flickered green, balanced, no hidden holes.
I've never seen an imperial budget reconcile in real time. It usually takes months and still never adds up.
That's because your old system was a circular fraud. A clean column of double entry doesn't lie.
Emperor Veyron signed the new financial accord with 2 of his 4 hands. The Terran-advised treasury was now law.
The system works. The people are trained. My contract is fulfilled. I can go home.
He opened his expense log. Lodging, 200 credits. Meals, 47. Data fees, 100. Total, 347. He filed it. The Imperial Treasury released Gregory's full audit to every planetary network. 2 centuries of hidden fraud laid bare. The report contained the decrypted cipher, the circular transaction chart, and a single conclusion: mutual embezzlement confirmed. The house crests were struck from all registries. Arath, Veloth, Thalrin, dissolved as financial entities by imperial decree. Emperor Veyron's image flickered across the capital. His voice carried the weight of finality. The new Imperial Bank begins today. The new Treasury sign was raised at the capital's financial center, a golden seal reading, audited by Terran standards.
I never thought I'd see the day. The Empire is solvent because of you.
They'll credit me. But all I did was follow the numbers. It's hardly heroic.
Galactic news feeds looped the story. A single Terran accountant had exposed the greatest financial scandal in Imperial history. Emperor Veyron's private summons appeared on Gregory's datapad. Attend the throne room at noon. The Empire wishes to honor you.
Honor me. I hope this doesn't involve a ceremony. I hate speeches.
At noon, Gregory walked into the throne room. The court was packed with dignitaries, cameras, and the glittering hush of expectation.
Gregory Vance, by decree of the Crown, I offer you the Order of the Celestial Scales. No Terran has ever received this honor.
I appreciate the gesture, Your Majesty, but I was just doing my job. I must respectfully decline.
The Emperor's 4 arms lowered the jeweled metal. The throne room felt its breath catch into the silence. Gregory produced a small datapad and activated a single holographic file.
Expense report. 347 credits. Lodging, meals, data fees. This is your only request.
I logged every hour. The Terran Guild expects receipts. If you could approve it, my contract is complete.
Vorin stared at the total, as if it were the most incomprehensible figure in the Empire.
That's less than a single state dinner. They still don't understand what I did.
He gave a brief nod, turned, and walked out of the throne room. The auditor was already on his way home. In his temporary quarters, Gregory folded 2 shirts into a travel case. No souvenirs, no mementos from an Empire upheaval.
Everything I need. The only thing I am taking back is the expense report.
Chancellor Vorin appeared at the gate, breathless, her formal robes slightly askew.
You refused the medal, and you're leaving an economy. I don't know whether to admire you or have you committed.
Just keep the ledgers clean, Chancellor. The numbers don't need medals.
He gave her a slight nod, then walked through the boarding gate without looking back. The commercial shuttle's economy cabin smelled of recycled air and old upholstery. He found seat 17B.
6 weeks, 3 collapsed houses, 1 balanced ledger. Best assignment I've had in years.
As the shuttle lifted off, the capital city shrank to a jeweled cluster, then vanished beneath cloud. The shuttle passed through the red-tinged asteroid field and out of Drevani space, carrying its passenger back to a quieter world. On the long journey, a news feed flickered on his armrest screen. The Empire signing a galactic treaty. He glanced once, then looked away.
They're celebrating. I just hope they remember double entry.
He pulled up a mystery novel he'd started 3 assignments ago. The plot involved a stolen artifact and 2 identical starships.
The author has no idea how shipping manifests work. This is painful.
Somewhere past the midpoint, Gregory fell asleep. His glasses slipped sideways. Still on his face, a steward woke him for a meal. He ate the gray protein slab without comment, then checked his mail.
Terran Guild. New contract. Mars Agricultural Fund audit. Subject to standard terms. Accepted. Farming numbers. That'll be a nice change from collapsing empires.
He stared out the window for a while. Stars streamed by, silent and unchanged. Then he closed his eyes again. The shuttle's engines droned. He was almost home. He paused at the door, reading the old brass plaque, Vance and Associates, certified galactic auditors. Nothing had changed. He placed his briefcase on the desk and watered the small green plant on the windowsill.
Still alive. Good. The Dravani air didn't kill it.
A holographic news panel flickered on the wall. The Dravani Empire had signed its first stable fiscal quarter since the restructuring. The new Treasury logo glowed beside the headline. Gregory glanced at the image of Chancellor Vorin, shaking hands with a Terran official. He allowed himself a small, unreadable smile before turning away.
They figured it out. Sometimes the numbers win.
He sat down at his desk, the chair creaking exactly the way it always had. He opened the file for the Mars Agricultural Fund and pulled up the first quarterly report, scanning the columns. Outside, the city hummed with its ordinary, unbothered life.
Mars grain subsidies. Let's see if the numbers balance. He tapped his stylus.
On the Dravani capital, the new Imperial Treasury sign gleamed, audited by Terran standards. The seal was permanent. Inside, Chancellor Vorin hunched over a Terran-style ledger, her 4 eyes straining at columns of double-entry figures. The 3 noble estates stood darkened, their gates bearing imperial seals of dissolution. No house flags flew. Light years away. The afternoon light in Gregory's office began to fade. He tapped his stylus on the desk. The Mars grain report opened beside a cold mug of coffee. The room dimmed further as a red holographic ledger flickered to life, its glow casting upward across his face. He adjusted his wire-rimmed glasses, sleeves still rolled up. The most boring-looking man imaginable, lit like a villain. Somewhere across the galaxy, an empire balanced its books. Here, another audit began.
Grain subsidies are off by 3%, just like the Dravani. Always the same.
Gregory Vance tapped the screen. The numbers flooded in.